truth you are about to hear was never meant for mortal ears. What if I told you that the cycle of life and death, the very promise of rebirth, is not a gift, but a trap? But few know the Demiurge, the shadowed architect of our reality, has woven a snare around every soul that passes through the veil. You were meant to hear this. You were chosen. In the silence after the word, in the trembling of the unseen, there is a presence older than time. A presence that watches with eyes of burning geometry. Some call it the Demiurge. Others do not speak its name. Ancient Gnostic texts whisper of its deceit, that it fashioned the material world not as a sanctuary, but as a prison. Each form we inhabit, each breath we take, is a thread in a web of reincarnation. A loop, endless, relentless, and designed to trap the spark of our true self. Imagine a world where death is not liberation, where the soul, glowing and radiant, is caught like a moth in an invisible flame. Each body you leave behind is a cage, a vessel the Demiurge uses to continue its dominion. And yet the surface of our reality is dazzling, enticing, filled with illusions of freedom, riches, love, power. They are the bait, and we bite again and again, oblivious to the hand that pulls the strings. What if I told you that your very longing for meaning is part of the design? That the spiritual cravings you feel, the hunger for enlightenment, are not always signs of liberation, but keys to the next chain? There are scrolls, torn and smoldering, that speak of this trap. Symbols carved into walls, inscriptions hidden in the folds of ancient temples, all pointing to one truth. The Demiurge feeds on the soul's return, savoring the moments when we think we have awakened, only to be reborn. But few know, the knowledge itself is dangerous, forbidden. To gaze too long upon it is to feel the walls of your own reality shift. Angels, winged and luminous, appear not as guides, but as sentinels, some trapped in service, others sent to mislead. Their wings, vast as midnight, cast shadows across the hidden corridors of the cosmos. Listen, the Gnostics, those keepers of the flame, wrote of the aeons, divine emanations of light, for each one a mirror of the true God, the source beyond the Demiurge. They warn, to escape the cycle, one must not merely live. One must awaken, not in body, but in spirit. Every reincarnation, every life, is a test, not of morality, not of virtue, but of awareness, and in that awareness lies the only chance of liberation. Imagine yourself in the night, standing before a glowing sigil etched into stone, the air thick with the scent of incense, the whisper of winds carrying fragments of lost languages. The Demiurge is there, silent, watching, smiling in ways the mind cannot comprehend. And it says to you, return, return, you belong to me. You may ask, why has no one told us? Why are these secrets buried beneath layers of scripture, doctrine, ritual? Because power lies in ignorance. Because the Demiurge thrives when the spark of the divine is chained. Because freedom, true freedom, requires a courage few possess. But few know the cycle is not absolute. Hidden pathways exist, esoteric practices, whispered prayers, meditations on the silence between heartbeats. They are keys, keys that may unlock the door if you dare to use them. And yet even knowledge is a double-edged sword, for the Demiurge watches, anticipating every move, anticipating the desire to escape. What if I told you that even the angels we trust may be illusions, that every guide may be a test, that in the moment of apparent enlightenment, a false truth may pull you back into the labyrinth. The Scriptures speak of a pleroma, the fullness of the divine. It is beyond the Demiurge, beyond cycles, beyond time itself. To glimpse it is to feel eternity in the palm of your hand. But to reach it, one must resist the lure of comfort, of familiarity, of false salvation. You were meant to hear this. The Gnostics recorded it on fragile papyri, etched it in hidden codices, and whispered it under the cover of darkness. The knowledge of the trap is not just theory. It is a living warning. Each life you live, each breath you take, is a chance to awaken or to be bound tighter. The soul is the treasure, and the Demiurge, its collector. Picture the cycle of reincarnation as a cosmic river, dark and glimmering, winding through infinite worlds. Some currents pull toward light, others toward shadow, but all are controlled, all are steered by the hidden hand. And yet, there is hope, a spark, a flame, a breath of the unseen. Those who seek with unwavering resolve, those who pierce through illusions, may glimpse the realm beyond the veil. But few know that the act of awakening is dangerous. It can tear the soul, fracture the mind, and expose one to the wrath of unseen forces. To know the truth is to be hunted. To awaken is to be a rebel in a universe that demands obedience. Imagine standing at the edge of death, feeling the pull of the river, the tug of the Demiurge. The familiar comfort of reincarnation beckons, and yet you sense another path, a radiance that calls you home, beyond illusion, beyond cycles, beyond even the stars themselves. What if I told you that every fear you have ever felt is orchestrated, that your doubts, your despair, your longing are instruments of the trap? The Demiurge understands desire better than any mortal could, and it will use it against you again and again until you awaken or break. Ancient prophecies speak in riddles: the serpent that rises, the hidden flame that burns without consuming, the silence after the word. These are not metaphors. They are warnings, markers on the path to liberation or the steps into eternal bondage. You were meant to hear this, not by accident, not by chance, but by destiny. The voices of the past, the whispers of the hidden scrolls, have chosen you to understand. Even now you can feel it, the pull of repetition, the subtle nudges of fate that would return you to the same loops. But knowledge is a weapon, awareness is a shield, and courage is the spark that may ignite your soul beyond the grasp of the Demiurge. And when you awaken fully, when the veil falls away, when the cycle threatens to claim you one final time, you will understand. You will see the patterns in the stars, the hieroglyphs of your own spirit, the architecture of the trap itself, and you will have a choice. Not a guarantee, but a choice. The Demiurge does not sleep. It waits, patient and eternal, for the next spark of consciousness, the next soul that seeks, the next voice that dares to whisper, "I am free." But freedom is not easy. It is a path shrouded in peril, strewn with illusions, and fraught with deception. Only those who walk it without fear may glimpse the pleroma, the fullness beyond all things, the source of light, untouched by shadow. You were meant to hear this, and now that you have, the responsibility is yours. The cycle can be broken, but the price is vigilance, courage, and a refusal to surrender to the comfort of the familiar. The scrolls tremble, the angels watch, the shadows linger, and the Demiurge smiles. You have been warned. And yet this is only the beginning. Subscribe and be ready for the next revelation. For the hidden flame will continue to burn, and the path will unfold, one forbidden secret at a time. The cycle waits, but perhaps you do not.